Hey you all, Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the south, more specifically Gibbsland, Louisiana. And I've come here for the Bonnie and Clyde Ambush Museum. I was fascinated with Bonnie and Clyde, the America's sweethearts, a pair of serial killers that went around murdering people, but for some reason are still glamorized to this day. The significance here in Gibbsland is this is where they were shot, where the police finally cornered them and shot them. And if you ever saw the movie, they shot them with Tommy guns about 1 billion times. The actual car is in Nevada. It is in right in the California-Nevada line. There's a casino called Whiskey Pete's, and I've been there. And they have the original Death Car. The movie Death Car is in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, at Alcatraz East. But something else, I stumbled upon this. They have a jonquil festival called the Jonquil Jubilee. Jonquil is a flower. That's a jonquil right there. But apparently the jonquils have bloomed. The locals are celebrating that. But I wanted to check out some information on Bonnie and Clyde. So follow me. Yes, the Bonnie and Clyde Ambush Museum. I believe this is used to be a diner, and it was the last place that Bonnie and Clyde ate at. I wonder what they ordered. Bonnie Parker, the cigar-smoking Hellcat of the Roaring 30s.
Shifted into first gear, and Alcorn hollered halt. Clyde's head went up.
This is the hat of Ted Hinton. He was the sheriff that finally tracked down and killed Bonnie and Clyde. I guess this is Hinton right here. He's got a shotgun there. Look at this. They have this little shadow box here built into a table. Looks like them towing Bonnie and Clyde's car. I love this Bonnie and Clyde terrarium here. It's like a, honest to God, fish tank. See Bonnie and Clyde right there. See Bonnie there. It's a Tommy gun. It's a little display on Dillinger. For some reason, Dillinger's death mask is like the most famous death mask at all. Every museum has a Dillinger death mask. I even have one in the bunker. And there they are. Most ruthless duo of all time, Bonnie and Clyde. It's an Orange Crush that Clyde bought for Levon Cole. I love Orange Crush. Yeah, I guess Clyde was a saxophone player, which is kind of interesting. And let's see these license plates. I know that when they finally killed them, they found a bunch of license plates in the backs of the car because they would switch them out to avoid the police. There's some jewelry, some of Bonnie's jewelry that was recovered. And there's Bonnie Parker, Clyde Barrow. It's their autograph right there. It says Bonnie Clyde's tam was found in the death car after the ambush. It's that brooch and that scarf was in the car. Okay, so this is a genuine door from a farmhouse that Bonnie and Clyde were hiding out in. And apparently a woman had walked up to the door and Clyde had fired a shotgun at her. And you can still see the pellets from the shotgun embedded in the door. I guess this cemetery gate was a real cemetery gate by Henry Methvin. So it wasn't Bonnie or Clyde's, but it was a real cemetery gate. You can see there's replicas of their gravestones. Looks like people have left liquor on Clyde's grave and jonquils on Bonnie's. Interesting jonquils. The owner of the establishment did clarify this was where Bonnie and Clyde got their last meal, this former diner, so that they had gotten takeout that Clyde had never even got a chance to eat his sandwich. That when they were shot, they were shot 30 minutes after picking up food here. Said that Bonnie had eaten half her sandwich, and I guess she had the sandwich in her hand when she was shot. It's interesting. There's a pair of Clyde Barrow sunglasses. You must admit that is pretty stylish. And here's a whole arsenal, I guess, that they would have carried around with them. Jeez, they were heavily armed. And here's Sheriff Ted Hinton's personalized gun that he painted. Guess maybe it was Masonic. Look at me, I'm Clyde Barrow. Here's a electric chair. Of course, that's not Clyde because, you know, he was shot to death. Like I said, the real Bonnie and Clyde death car is in Nevada, but for a while there was a whole bunch of fake death cars parading around the United States. And of course, this museum has its own death car. Let's check it out. Excuse me, Bonnie, I just need to check out your death car over here. Oh my, that's graphic. What's in the back there? We got, a bunch of guns. All those bullet holes. Oh gosh, it looks something out of a haunted house. It does look a lot like the car. Here's a second death car just for good measure. It's in this room right here. This eerie red glow. Oh my. This is the autopsy room, I guess. Hey Clyde, you shouldn't have done all those awful things. You too, Bonnie, you're equally responsible. Goodness. Yeah, there's the firing squad right there. A bunch of little different bits and pieces from different buildings that they robbed. I guess that was a gas station they stopped at. That was National Guard Armory that they robbed. Some items taken from the scene. Buttons from Bonnie's dress. Lock of Bonnie's hair. Shards of glass from the car. Buttons from Clyde's shirt. Here's a stolen tire that Clyde stole. And then this is a window from Clyde's family's gas station. Did you guys kill a bunch of people? Yeah. You guys were serial killers, weren't you? Yeah. You can actually buy bricks from various Bonnie and Clyde spots. This one's from the Joplin hideout. Bunch of candy cigarettes, candy cigars for the kids. And here, literally next door to the other museum, is a second Bonnie and Clyde museum called the Authentic Bonnie and Clyde Museum. And yes, they have a lot of jonquils here in Gibbsland. Epitaphs for all the people that were killed by Clyde Barrow and his gang. Is that a tire stolen by Bonnie and Clyde? And right here, on this lonely stretch of highway, we have the death site of Bonnie and Clyde, where they were ambushed by local law enforcement and gunned down in their car. See, there's significant graffiti, there's some pennies. Kind of shows you some of the romanticization of the Bonnie and Clyde legend, despite the fact that they were straight up killers. So I guess it would have been right along this tree line here where they were gunned down, severely gunned down. There is a second marker dedicated to the officers who on May 23rd, 1934 at 9:15 a.m. These men gunned down Bonnie and Clyde. It's always been very, very fascinating to me, the whole legacy of Bonnie and Clyde. I understand the idea of two outlaws in love, how that is so easily romanticized. But once you look into what the actual chain of events were, they were just killing people. They were very, very awful human beings, and they killed innocent shop owners, innocent police officers. It's just absolutely reprehensible what they did, and it was probably a good thing that they were Tommy gunned down right here on the side of the road. But fascinating history any way you look at it. Appreciate you guys watching. If you'd like to see other death sites, museums, roadside attractions, amusement parks, check down in the description. I have an interactive map that'll show you where I've been, and you can tell me where I need to go next. Also, if you'd like to contribute to the channel, consider buying a t-shirt. Consider donating to Patreon. A donation of $3 or more will get you a postcard. But for now, this one's in the bag.